Thanks for tuning in to the Yakety Yak podcast. This is Tamara Tran. Today I get to interview one of my heroes. Her name is Shelley Francis. She's a dear friend. Shelley is a successful businesswoman. She is a realtor with Caldwell Banker at Station Park in Farmington. I want to give her a shout out. If anyone needs help with a house, she's excellent. I would completely call her and trust her to take care of my real estate needs. That's your little plug. Shelley is ambitious, she's smart, she's sassy. She and Jory had 4 children. She's going to tell you about her ex-husband, who was a wonderful man. He endured physical abuse, emotional abuse, abandonment. He became a business entrepreneur. He served his city, and he committed suicide. She's going to share with us his story. Yeah, it does.
Life is really mostly hard.
Yeah.
There's super amazing, awesome moments, and they're so far and few between.
I know. And Shelley, you've had more than your share.
But you know what? Every day there's a super awesome moment. Every single day there is. Like Charlie this morning came in, and I was so tired because I'd been up with Spencer the last 2 nights with him puking. And Spencer puking isn't a normal puke. It's oh, Mom.
It's dramatic.
My stomach is so I feel like the bread is sitting there. I feel it, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Then he's weeping, and you're just like,
oh my Shelley.
So I'm half asleep, and I'm like, just throw up.
right.
Please, for the love of all, let's get throw up.
Just gag yourself and get it over with.
I get to sleep up, I'm like, just stick your finger.
Here's a toothbrush. Just stick it down your throat as far as you can.
Seriously. So I'm just exhausted, and Harley comes in, and my first thought was, oh shit.
Poor kid.
Snuggles right up against me. He's just warm with his stinky breath.
Yeah, and his baby smells.
Like, oh, I love you, Mom. You're my favorite mom.
Oh, Shelley.
I watch SpongeBob, and I'm like, yes. And it was so
That's
nice
cute.
for him to just.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be by me.
He just wanted to love you.
Yeah, and I loved it.
I
and
love
if that's
that.
my happy moment for the day,
And
I'm gonna take it because one day that kid is gonna be 30
Mm-hmm.
and mad that I said no to loaning him $500. Do you
True.
know what I mean?
True.
So I'm gonna take that moment today and
He'll be on a couch
I'll
talking to a
take it.
therapist.
Yeah. Meanwhile, later I'm gonna have to write a $3,000 check so you can
Right.
take him to Utah Hospital
Exactly,
for
right.
Spencer's. But I think that my kids, you grow up thinking that you find this one man who's gonna marry you.
Yeah.
And it's happily ever after, and the truth is, no, it's not. Marriage is really hard.
It's hard ever after, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I want my kids to know that, and I'm sad that I led them to believe that if they just said a prayer, it's immediately answered, and it's answered in the way that they want, and it's good and glorious, and everything's okay, because that was my fault.
No.
But it was. I would teach them that.
Well,
Kids
my
kneel
goal
down
is
and pray,
to
you're
have
gonna find
you
your
be
hat.
my
Do you know what I mean? And it's
It's
good to
true.
have faith, and it's good
It's
to
true.
teach them things like,
It's
okay,
true.
hey, but
I've had those discussions with my kids.
Tori, you got kicked
And it
off
doesn't always
the
happen
island,
fast or
sorry.
even at all.
No,
She
she
actually
actually
did. She did because, yeah, she wasn't available when I was available, and I wasn't available when she was available. And she's long distance, and when we record long distance, it doesnn't sound as good because we don't have all the fancy audio equipment. So face to face is just a better recording. Sorry, Tori. Because they're all coming with us.
Life is like real life.
She's gonna be, well, okay, you want to talk about Jory? All right.
Do you want to talk
Where do we
about
start there?
Jory?
So,
Okay,
we'll
just so my 5
So
subscribers
Jory
can
was-
understand.
Can
understand. I think there
Jory
are
was
some.
my
Maybe I
first
have 6.
husband.
I thought I
And
was.
he was awesome.
I was
He
like
was
2
a really good
subscribers.
man. We were married for
That I
17
think Ryan
years.
subscribes. My friend subscribes.
He was actually, so when I met Jory, well, Jory was really horribly abused growing up. His mom and dad divorced when he was 2, and she got remarried when he was 5 or 7. I can't remember. I want to say 5. And that's when the abuse started.
With that stepdad.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And it just, instead of his mom stopping it, she just became complacent and allowed it. And then for the first little while, they would send him away. And, you know, his aunts and uncles would take him in. They'd kind of pass him around to different families and keep him in the house for a few months. Each of them would just keep him for a while. And then he had 2 siblings that joined their family, and it just, by then, his mom was just as mean, and
it's so sad, Shelley.
Yeah, it's sad. Some of the stories he told me were just kind of, I mean, that's just awful. It's awful that people, I can't, I mean, there's times where I tell my kids I want to beat them.
Right, but you don't actually do it.
Well, I might, no. I've spanked my kids, and there was one time I got some out of my kids, I threw a box of chicken and biscuits at them. Because I was so mad. I was just done.
It could have been a brick or a knife. I mean, hey.
It was a box of chicken and a biscuit.
Yeah, they survived it.
But, you know, I get that level of, you're so frustrated and you're tired and you're just done.
But
to take a little kid's head and shove it into a bowl of cereal and hold it because he slurped his milk.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
No.
To lock a kid in the trunk of a car, to lock a kid in his closet, to, you know, to kick them when they're trying to take the heavy black bag of grass clippings out to the garbage can. You know, I don't get it. I don't understand that. And anyway, from there it just got worse. He ended up, they tried to have him put into some mental institutions.
You're kidding. Because he would act out, or
yeah, they
probably
wanted to be vindicated and see he deserves this. He's earned it. He's bad.
I see. To justify that there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, why?
Shelley, that's horrible.
Yeah. So what's interesting is he was in one for like 2 days, and they called him up and they said, you know, we actually want to talk to you about what's going on because he's fine.
There's nothing wrong with him.
There's nothing wrong. This actually starts with you. And so they checked him out of there and shipped him off to his real dad down in Battle Mountain, Nevada.
Oh.
And his real dad, he's a sweet guy. He's a mess, schizophrenic, and
oh, really? So there was some mental.
Yeah, and I don't know if that is. I mean, from what I understood, he was in a big bar fight one night, and the schizophrenia came from that fight. But I don't know. Jory didn't have schizophrenia. He didn't ever have that kind of problems. Jory had severe depression.
I see.
And anyway, so when he was 16, Jory went to his dad and his mom and asked them to sign papers to have him become emancipated. And that basically means that your parents divorce you and they sign away rights and you become your own guardian.
And they were okay with that. They were probably happy.
Yeah, I think they probably were relieved a bit. Yeah, here, go be your own person, which... I mean,
16 years old.
Think about that. My son's 16. And it's crazy because this is me being an awesome mom. Yesterday, he just made the high school soccer team.
Oh, he did?
Yay.
He's a cutie.
And you have to get a physical. And so yesterday was his first game, and we had to get that physical or he couldn't play. So I'm like, okay, here's the forms. I filled it out. Go to the doctor, get your physical.
Right, yeah.
And he got there and he called me. He's like, Mom, you have to be here. And I didn't even think about it. But in my mind, I was like, well, duh, he's a minor.
Yeah, but he's so responsible. I mean, I can see why you think he could just handle it.
But I was driving over there. I'm like, how did Jory ever go to the doctor? Like, you have to have a parent
and money
and money
and
and health insurance. I mean, no, this kind of physical, you just go. But
but still.
So they signed away all rights. So he's 16. He's in high school. He's a junior in high school. Has his own apartment. Is working full time and trying to go to school.
Can't believe he did all of that.
I can't. He used to go beg for food.
I remember him telling us that.
He lived across the street from a gas station, and they would save up the food from the day, and they would keep it for him. And so he would go over and get the leftover food. And
Shelley, that breaks my heart. I remember hearing Jory tell us that story when you guys first moved in. It's incredible.
It is. And his friends would come over and party, and he'd sleep while they were hanging out in his apartment because he was exhausted.
Yeah.
And he ended up dropping out of high school, getting his GED because he had to work. He couldn't work full time and go to school. It was too much. So he got his GED, and he ended up going back to Denver, which is where his stepdad and mom lived. And he was working there, and his bishop was a great guy, really helped Jory a lot, and he came to him and said he wanted him to go serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and Jory was like, no.
I don't.
He was just like, I don't have the money.
Yeah.
And the bishop was like, you have Kevin and Becky, and he was like, they'll never pay for it.
And now who are Kevin and Becky?
That's his mom and stepdad.
Oh, okay.
And the bishop at that time said, I'll pay for it. So Jory went and he read the Book of Mormon, which is a book from that church, and he read it in one night, and he went to the bishop the next day and said, all right,
You're kidding.
I'll serve. So he started to work on his papers, and you know what, in high school, Jory did
That's
things.
incredible.
He was drinking, and
Of course
doing
he was.
things and smoking pot.
Yes,
and
I mean, he had no supervision.
yeah, he didn't. And he was a teenager.
Right. I mean, what teenager wouldn't try
I
things if
know.
they had absolutely
Yeah.
no supervision?
Well, and suffering from depression, and your parents
Yeah.
don't want you.
Yeah,
And think
and
about what that means.
His self-esteem was
I
shot.
feel like I've lost both of my parents, and I really, truly believe that in this world, and I happen to be blessed with the greatest parents on earth.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be.
Your life
could
was
never-
totally different, wasn't
It
it?
was totally different, and you know, my mom was amazing, and I do not believe that there is another person that has ever been born or will ever that can love me. Well, there will never be somebody that'll love me like my mom. And so when I hear these stories about Jory's mom, I just am floored by it, because I look at my kids and I think,
Yeah.
I could never sign that paper saying you are not mine.
Yeah. And you can never abuse them the way that he was
No.
abused and
No.
neglected. The
No.
neglect was probably equally bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could never know that my child is out in the world trying to make it. Like, he was homeless, living in a car. He lived in a car.
Yeah, I can't even
It would
imagine.
kill me. I hate when my son didn't make the soccer team last year. I was devastated for him. You know, watching my kids bury their dad.
Yeah.
It's just, so I look at this woman and I think of Jory's story, and I just, as a mom, I don't understand. I don't understand it, but.
I don't either.
So anyways, Jory ended up going on this mission, and the bishop paid for it. I believe Kevin and Becky, the mom and stepdad, paid for like his suit and stuff.
Did they?
But he was on his mission, and at one point he went to Guatemala. And at one point the mission president came to him and was like, "Listen, Elder, the rule is you write home and you're not sending letters."
Oh,
And-
Shelley, that's so sad.
And Jory was like, "I have these letters, but my parents won't send me stamps.
Oh my
They
gosh.
wouldn't send him
I
stamps."
can't I can't believe that.
I mean, they were so crazy, but they were the first ones at his farewell to stand up. Our son is so
Took
great.
all the credit for
Oh,
his
yeah.
wonderful
Yeah.
life choices.
Yeah, they were.
Oh my
So when
gosh.
I met Jory, we ended up meeting. I met Kevin and Becky, and I did not like them. Jory, when I first met him, he
didn't
not
tell
me
you anything.
He didn't. It was funny because we went over to Colorado where they live, and his mom took me out.
To bond with you, or?
Yes, to go shopping. Like, I went over and met him, and we were going shopping, and she was talking to me, and she's like, "Now listen, I want you to really think about this, because Jory is so unmotivated, and he will never take care of you.
Oh, you're kidding.
He
was such a good man.
He's just not. He's not really what you want. He doesn't. You know, this doctor I work with offered him a job, and he wouldn't take it. This business he's trying to start is just silly, and he'll never take care of you." And I remember sitting there thinking, how can you describe him as unmotivated? The fact that he's trying to start his own business is really, like, awesome to me.
Yeah.
That's really motivated.
Yeah,
Anyways,
absolutely.
I went home and I told her, I'm like, hey, let's go for a drive. I was like, oh my gosh, I hate your mom.
Oh, shoot.
How can I marry you because I hate your mom? But I told him on the drive, I'm like, your mom said this to me, and I don't really know what to think about that. And so on this drive is when he told me everything.
That it happened to him as a child? So
Yeah,
you didn't know any
all,
of the history?
Not all the details.
Right,
and stuff,
but you didn't know that it wasn't a normal relationship.
And we drove home that night.
I bet you were so mad.
I wasn't. I was so sad.
Oh.
And I told my parents, and my parents were mad because my mom and dad loved Jory. They just thought he was, because he was
so much fun,
good.
such a sweetheart.
I mean, he had such a gold soul. He was such a good person. So
yeah.
Anyway, as it went, we got married. That's a whole other fun story. But his mom has hated me from day one, and we went to them and just told them, look, before we have kids, this relationship has to be fixed, and that means counseling.
Good for you, Shelley.
Yeah, and they just told us no, that they didn't know what we were talking about. And so we talked to him once. They sent us a baby gift when Gardner was born, and we sent it back. We didn't even open it. Because they didn't. We made boundaries, which was really healthy and good.
Yeah, and you were both on the same page. You and Jory agreed with the boundaries, which is.
Yeah, but they never.
Good.
So when Jory died, his mom called me that night, and she just told me, she's like, you are a monster. He's dead because of you.
Oh, Shelley.
You ruined our family.
Oh my gosh. How did you deal with that? The night that he died.
Yeah.
She did that to you.
Yeah. I just told her, I'm like, he is dead because of you. He's tried his whole life to impress you.
Oh no.
And he was so broken.
So sad.
And I just said, if you have any class, do not come to his funeral. You are not welcome there.
Good for you.
Which I don't know. I mean, maybe that was wrong of me.
No.
But
no, are you kidding? No. She's just a horrible person. That's awful.
Yeah. So Jory, I mean, we were married for really a lot of good years. I take a lot of, it makes my heart happy to know that I did give Jory the best years of his life.
You did.
I know that he was really, really happy when we were married. And that...
Shelley, he was. I remember when you guys first bought your house and lived on our street. It was so much fun. You were just the cutest, happiest, jolliest, just couple. You guys were so in love and so excited. You were just starting your business, and it was starting to grow. And Jory came from nothing. Yeah. And you brought light and happiness to him and stability to his life and wholeness. You guys were a good team. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. He didn't own a pillow. Is that crazy?
The poor guy. I just remember hearing his story, thinking to myself, if this guy can have courage to get up every day and to
it's kind of crazy
provide
to
for his family.
He did have that much courage, and then in the end,
it just got to be.
Yeah,
I think it just got to be too much.
It did. He just, the problem is he was so broken, and I really do believe that his entire life he was searching for his mom's. He wanted her approval so bad.
Yeah.
And I wish that he would have gotten counseling.
Did he ever?
He tried a couple times, but it just didn't.
He wouldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
Just too painful for him.
Those are some pretty dark demons. And I think that he was taught at such a young age that he wasn't worth it. That he was worthless. That he was nothing. That, and as parents, we have so much power. We have so much power over our kids.
Oh, we do.
That we put inside of them what level of worth they are. And
it's so hard to overcome what you've internalized and been told that you believe about yourself. It's so hard. Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, it's just a constant battle. So you're right.
Everybody has felt it, even at a different, even as an adult. You can really if you go through a divorce,
Oh, I can't even imagine how hard that would
you
be.
can believe things about yourself that, I know that Jory loved me. I know he loved me.
Oh, he absolutely
But at
did.
the end, he was so
So mean.
mean to me. I mean, Tammy, he was so mean to me. And he said things, and he wrote things, and there are things
Yeah.
that
You've showed me some of the messages
they were just
right after.
awful.
They were just horrible.
Awful.
Just lashing out, and he just
that even as
hated
you read
himself
them,
so
you're like,
much.
There's no way that, and I knew it. This, like, I would say, this is not my Jory. That
Yeah.
Jory could never, but he did say him. And there's still days where I'm like, what a dick. Like,
Exactly, it's
I
true.
can still say to myself, that's not Jory,
But it was
And
was
he
a
said
side.
it to me.
It was a side that he only showed you probably
Yeah.
because he trusted you and he was safe with you.
Yeah. And you really do hurt the ones you love the most. Those are the ones because they are a safety person.
As you go back and think about your marriage and kind of what contributed to him getting to the point where he got, was there, I mean, you can see a pattern, obviously, now that you look back, but was there something, a situation, a relationship, a friendship, what was it, do you think, that just kind of turned that
I really think it started
corner
with,
for him?
I think that one of the biggest things that happened was politics. I think that, there was because he was on city council, and I think that there was that big land issue, which brought in the multifamily housing, and the neighborhood
Was so
that
mean.
we lived in, who had rallied around him so much. We want Jory City Council. They were so cool and so awesome. And then this land issue came up that was it had a mixed use,
Mm-hmm.
and it was single family homes, big ones, small ones, and then it was mixed. It was multifamily homes.
Yeah.
And this supportive community suddenly turned on him, and it wasn't just a little bit. It was so bad.
Was it really?
It was so bad and so mean. I mean, they were so mean. We had letters. People wouldn't talk to him at church. I mean, and the letters and the emails and just the texts, the phone calls. And I really think that it sent him back to, you're worthless.
Hmm.
It sent him right back to that moment in his childhood when
He
nobody wanted him
He tried
anymore.
so hard to please everybody.
He did.
To do what he felt people wanted from him.
Mhm.
To be
And
the
he was
person.
failing. And
I
it
see.
was almost like there was nothing he could do. Like, literally, people would say, we hate you. We will ruin you. Just these, you've ruined our neighborhood.
Oh, that's awful.
It was, and I think that is where it started. And then it just went downhill.
That's really interesting, actually, because he became so successful in his career, and you guys built your great business together.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was feeling good. He was meeting new people, realizing how much influence he had and how much he had to offer.
Yeah.
And then goes and serves the city with the support of everybody.
He was the darling of the political
Oh, I
community,
bet they
too. Like,
loved him.
People looked at him and thought, he's the next one. He's the next. I mean, I had people tell me that all the time. He is a rising star.
Yeah.
And then it just...
That's awful.
I wish people could understand the power of your words.
It's true.
We would read newspaper articles, and the comments were just... Oh,
Just so
my
mean.
little boy would come home from school, and Sister so-and-so said that you want whores and drug dealers to live in our
Oh, are you
neighborhood.
serious? Oh, that's
It's
awful.
crazy stuff that you're like... I mean, I don't think people understand
Yeah,
that some people could take that,
and some just can't.
and some people just can't, and they didn't know. I
Right.
mean, I'm not saying that they knew what this would do,
Yeah.
but it kind of doesn't matter.
I was going to say, even if some people can, it's still not nice.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the right to become
mean and vicious and
just an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that. And I think that's when I say I don't like people,
that's what you mean, those types of people.
some people want to go, and every day they're so, like, I remember one of these particular people came to his funeral, And she happened to be one of the most vile letter writers. And I was so mad that she was there.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe she had the audacity to come.
show up.
Because of the things she had said. And I wanted to look at her and say, get out of here.
Did she say anything to you?
Oh,
Did she apologize?
She
or
me and,
and acted
I'm
like
so
you were best
sorry.
friends?
Sent my daughter a letter because she was in the Young Women's.
Oh, you're kidding.
Like,
Ooh, Shelley, that's hard.
how dare you? And that's the other thing I tell him is don't be a liar. Don't be a liar.
True.
Because people remember that. And you're
It's
not
true.
going to remember your lie.
It's true.
So when you tell somebody, oh, you know what? I can't make it tonight because I'm going to see Wicked and blah, blah, blah. And then they ask you in 3 weeks how Wicked was and you didn't really go and you don't know.
Right.
I mean...
I know. So just say no and then stop.
Yeah.
Just close your lips.
I can't go.
Because that's so hard for me. I always feel like I need to give someone a huge explanation. And then my sister said, Tammy, they don't care. Just say no. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
okay.
it wasn't that they don't like Jory. They didn't like what he was voting for.
They didn't like that he voted for
But
it.
people don't separate that in their letter. It's you are an idiot. You are ruining us. You
Yeah,
are, and
you
it's
ruined our neighborhood.
it's personal.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining everything. I think she said, thanks for ruining our lives. You've ruined, and you know what?
How
Here's what's
ridiculous.
hilarious. They overturned the vote.
Really?
And you know what? In doing so, now only certain size houses can be put there. And here's what's hilarious. As a realtor, I'm telling you, that's bringing down your home values.
Yeah.
So,
So,
way to go, people.
yeah, that was a stupid
Way to have
decision.
that foresight. And the other thing was, you know what? Jory read the code, and he understood property rights.
Mm-hmm.
The property owner had the right to do that.
Exactly. And that's what's so hard. And people are... Ooh, it's a good lesson for me. I appreciate you sharing that because I've been thinking about what to do.
It's hard.
It is hard because you go into it thinking, I'm going to help. I'm going to make a difference. We're going to improve this. I'm going to represent the people.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you say something they don't like,
Well, they
go
Let me
crazy.
tell you the irony of it too, because part of that was going to be condos so that older folks can live there, and then stores on the bottom.
I
you
think
can
that's a
have
great.
walkable
I think
living.
that's great. Every
When
city.
Dory died, I was looking for ways to keep my kids in their schools and in their same neighborhood. And I remember one night thinking to myself, I wish that would have passed.
Yeah.
Because I cannot afford to live here. And if I move my kids, their consistency goes out the window. And how crazy awesome would it have been if I could have just moved 2 blocks behind me into an apartment. But wait, only whores and drug dealers live in apartments.
Right.
I mean,
Right. It doesn't make any
as
sense.
people are getting older in my neighborhood, they're looking to find condos to live in. But
Exactly.
they want to stay in the ward.
Exactly.
To me, you have to think outside the box a little bit, and you have to think into the future, and you have to think about others. And that's the problem.
It's
You
true.
become very selfish when you're thinking in the moment. And whores and drug dealers are not the only people that live in apartments. We all literally lived in apartments at one point. And I might be a whore when I live back in the day. I don't know. You never know. Not gonna rule it out.
I was
because
gonna-
I may need that extra cash.
I was gonna say you'd be a wealthy whore.
I do enjoy rolling.
I was gonna say.
No,
You would bring class to the profession.
I would be called a madam.
Yes, exactly. You would have her business. You would be in charge.